Hello and welcome back to Underdog Investing. So today I'd like to talk about Virgin Galactic. Firstly, going through the stock price and why we've seen an increase in the stock price today so far. And then I'd like to talk a bit about ARK Invest's Big Ideas 2021 research and their thoughts on hypersonic travel. And I'd like to finish with Richard Branson and how he ended up $2 billion richer just this month alone because of Virgin Galactic. And before I jump into the video, I'd be grateful if you can smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for future updates. So starting with the stock price, you can see that we're near the end of the trading day for Wednesday the 3rd of February, and it's about $56.88, which is about 17% up so far. And if we have a look at the 5-day chart, you can see we're at about 20% up. And the 1-month chart, we're at about 145% up, which is just incredible. But why have we seen a 17% spike today? And to answer this, we move to this Motley Fool article, which lays down 3 potential reasons why. The first one being, it certainly could be Robinhood traders once again squeezing Virgin Galactic shorts that's driving today's rally. With 16.5% short interest in the stock, any upward momentum in Virgin shares holds the potential to spook short sellers out of their positions, resulting in more buying that drives the shares higher. And the reason why I think this could be the case is because if we have a look at other stocks that are targeted by Robinhood traders, such as GME, you can see GME is up 15% today. AMC as well. AMC is up 20%. So there's a good chance that it could be the Robinhood traders who are causing this short squeeze in Virgin Galactic. So moving on to the second reason. So this goes back to Monday. So first, on Monday this week, the company announced that its spaceplane test flight program is back on track, with the next attempt at reaching space scheduled to take place as soon as February the 13th. So the reason why I don't think it's this news is because this news actually came out on Monday, and this resulted in the stock price actually going up on Monday. And then this was followed by a retracement on Tuesday, and now we're back up again. So I don't really think this is actually causing the spike today. Another thing to note is that they haven't made it quite clear here, but basically the flight window opens on February the 13th, but the test flight can actually happen anytime from February 13th onwards. So it's important to note that. And the final thing they mentioned is to do with SpaceX. So what they're saying is basically SpaceX and Virgin Galactic are both in a race for space tourism, and SpaceX had a catastrophic landing I think it was yesterday, and they think that because SpaceX had bad news, this means that investors are going to be more optimistic that Virgin Galactic are going to be operational sooner, and that's why the stock price goes up. But I personally disagree with this. I personally feel like the space industry is so new and everyone's so excited about it that a company like SpaceX, which is so big, anytime they've got any good news, I feel like this brings up the stock price in Virgin Galactic, and vice versa. Anytime SpaceX has any bad news, it usually brings the stock price down. So I don't think the increase in the stock price was because of the catastrophic landing by SpaceX. So I do think it's the first reason, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So now moving on to the Big Ideas 2021 research by ARK Invest, which was released in January 26th. Basically here they talk about 15 of the big ideas that investors shouldn't miss out on, and one of them is orbital aerospace, and that is on page 78. So let's go to page 78, orbital aerospace. So there's 3 main sectors in this orbital aerospace. The first one is global connectivity, which SpaceX is doing. So what they're trying to do is use reusable rockets to send satellites to space and provide internet to everyone, basically. Company like Virgin Orbit is also going for this sector. And then on the right hand side, you've got multiplanetary species. This is a little bit ambitious for me. I don't know what you guys think. So humans have been living on International Space Station for 20 years, and within a decade, humans could inhabit the moon and Mars. In 10 years, I think that's a little bit unlikely. I don't know. This is a SpaceX play though. Now moving on to the important part, which is the hypersonic point-to-point travel, which is what Virgin Galactic are basically going for. So as long-haul flight times collapse from 10 hours to 2 to 3 hours, the global economy could transform. So this is what Virgin Galactic are aiming for in the long term. And ARK Invest have laid out this diagram, and they've actually laid this out in one of their previous articles, but basically it is talking about how the hypersonic travel industry could generate a revenue annually of about 270 billion in the future. So first of all, they start with the number of passengers that flew in 2018 alone, which was 4.5 billion flights. And 680 million of these flights were longer than 7 hours. And 2.7 million of those flights were private. So basically, you've got 2.7 million flights which were longer than 7 hours and were private. And ARK Invest managed to calculate that people will be willing to pay about 100,000 per flight if it was hypersonic. And the way they came up with that figure is basically they looked at private flyers and calculated how much private flyers were willing to pay to save each hour of flight time. And they calculated it to be about $15,000 per hour of flight time. And if we're looking at a hypersonic flight, we're looking to save about 7 to 8 hours per flight. So if you're willing to pay $15,000 to save each hour of flight time, and you're saving about 7 to 8 hours of flight time using hypersonic travel, then you're going to be willing to pay about 100,000 per hypersonic flight. So with 2.7 million hypersonic flights at $100,000 per hypersonic flight, that's about 270 billion in annual revenues. So this is where Virgin Galactic are really going to excel. I mean, these figures also help me to stay positive and not get too hung up on the short-term fluctuations, because space tourism is exciting, but where the money is really going to be hypersonic travel, and that is really going to be in the future. So that's why I'm going to be holding onto my Virgin Galactic shares for the long run. And just to finish off, Richard Branson, richer than ever from Reddit traders and space plans. So the billionaire has added about 2 billion to his wealth since the start of January, as shares in Virgin Galactic holdings have surged to a peak after a succession of positive events. First, there was Cathie Wood's plan for an exchange-traded fund tracking space-focused companies. Then Virgin Galactic was drawn into the Reddit-fueled frenzy of retail investors pouring into shorted stocks. And finally, the news on Monday that the venture would resume test flights of its rocket-powered spaceplane. The stock has already more than doubled this year. So Branson, whose Virgin Atlantic Airways Limited had to be rescued from the brink of collapse last year, now has a record net worth of 7.8 billion according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. His stake in Virgin Galactic makes up almost half of his fortune. So that's actually a really important point for us. The fact that 50% of Richard Branson's portfolio is tied up with Virgin Galactic just is a very good thing. And the reason why is that gives him all the incentive to ensure that Virgin Galactic is a successful company, because it's a massive part of his wealth. So that's the end of the video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you found it useful in any way, please do share this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.